Just let me know when you're ready. All right. Good late morning. I'll call this meeting of the Englewood Local Liquor and Marijuana Licensing Authority to order. My name's Kathy Guckenberger. I'm the hearing officer for today's hearing. We are recording, and I believe you all have instructions on how to operate your microphone. Today is May 8th, and we are here today to consider the application of Chiba Hut Investment Company Incorporated, doing business as Chiba Hut, which is seeking a new hotel, restaurant, liquor license to be located at 5098 South Federal Boulevard, Suite C, Englewood, 80110. Again, I'm Kathy Guckenberger, and this hearing will be conducted pursuant to the Englewood Municipal Code and will be recorded. All persons giving testimony, please spell your name and state your address for the record, and we'll have a swearing in of all witnesses who will testify at the designated point here. We'll have Ms. McKinnon sign everybody in. Generally, the hearing's going to proceed as follows. Ms. McKinnon will introduce the case and enter into evidence all documents pertinent to the application. Then we'll give applicant the opportunity or its representative to present its case and providing any witnesses, exhibits for my consideration. And any parties in interest may testify, but according to Ms. McKinnon, there is no one signed up for that. I may have some questions for witnesses, so we'll just see how that goes. We can, if you need to provide any rebuttal testimony, applicant, you may. And the ordinary rules of evidence do not apply, just as a reminder, but we'll make a note of all exhibits received for the record. It's been, what, a year or two, a couple years since I've done one of these, so I'm working my way through all the rules here. And after all testimony has been provided, I will close the public hearing and either render a decision or take the matter under advisement. Does anybody have any questions about procedural matters? Seeing none. All right, Ms. McKinnon, please introduce the case and enter into evidence all documents.
All right, we have applicant Chiba Hut Investment Company, Inc., DBA Chiba Hut. We have Exhibit A, which is the application, the lease, the floor plan. Exhibit B is a certified letter advising of the status of the application and notice of public hearing was mailed and emailed to Chiba Hut Investment Company, Inc., DBA Chiba Hut on April 25th. Exhibit C, publisher's affidavit verifying that the notice of public hearing was published in the Englewood Herald on April 4th, 2024, and on the City of Englewood's website from March 19th, 2024 to May 8th, 2024. Exhibit D, a memorandum dated February 22nd, 2024, from Brooke Bell, Senior Planner for Englewood Department of Community Development, verifying compliance with the zoning and distance requirements. Exhibit E, acceptance of neighborhood and boundaries, affidavit of posting and property and picture of the posting. Exhibit F, maps indicating boundaries West Radcliffe Drive on the north, West Bellevue Avenue on the south, South Clay Street on the east, and South Lowell Boulevard on the west. Location of applicant has one other establishment located within the set boundaries. And then we have the applicant's exhibits, which is their petitions and process, and they had 116 signatures with 110 a yes, and they had 6 no's. And the no's, let's see here, they didn't give a reason. One person was opposed to the entire restaurant. The other 5 just had no reason. And that is all the exhibits.
My name is Vince Linden, present with Kyle Archie.
I can swear them both in, or do you want to do one individual?
Well, who all is
We can, anybody's going to, yeah. Okay.
So you want to swear in all witnesses right
Yep,
now?
who will be testifying.
Sure.
Yep, I can do that. Great. Go ahead and raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in this matter now being heard by the Englewood Liquor and Marijuana Licensing Authority? I do. Okay. Please state your name and address.
Kyle Archer, 6056 Espalier Court, Fort Collins, Colorado.
Okay.
Last name is spelled Archer.
Carol Johnson for Liquor Pros, 10200 Park Meadows Drive, Lone Tree, Colorado. Johnson, Johnsson. I'm sorry.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. For the record, Ms. Guckenberg, my name is Vince Linden. I am a Colorado licensed attorney, registration number 23285. I'm present with authorized representatives of the liquor license applicant, Chiba Hut Investment Company, Inc., doing business as Chiba Hut. Chiba Hut is requesting approval of the company's application for a new hotel and restaurant liquor license at its leased operating premises located at 5098 South Federal Boulevard, Suite C, Englewood, Colorado, 80110. Present with me today on behalf of the applicant is Kyle Archer. Mr. Archer is vice president and is a 12.5% shareholder of Elevated Inc., which is the parent company of Chiba Hut. And as such, Mr. Archer holds a 12.5% beneficial individual interest in the company. Mr. Archer, you've already stated your full name and spelled your last name for the record. Are you here on behalf of Chiba Hut Investment Company, Inc., doing business as Chiba Hut?
Yes,
What is your position with the applicant company, Chiba Hut Investment Company, Inc.?
I'm the CFO, secretary and vice president, and director, as well as for the parent company, Elevated Inc.
Is the applicant company, Chiba Hut, wholly owned by Elevated Inc.?
Yes,
Besides you, are there any other officers and directors of the applicant company?
yes. David Timmons is the CEO, president, and director, and owns 87.5% of Elevated Inc., the parent company.
And we're not intending to call Mr. Timmons as a witness today, Ms. Guckenberger, but Mr. Timmons is present in the council chambers. Is it correct to testify then that you and Mr. Timmons are the sole shareholders, officers, and directors of the applicant's parent company, Elevated Inc.?
That is correct.
And you and Mr. Timmons are the sole officers and directors of the applicant company, Chiba Hut Investment Company, Inc.?
Correct.
Are there any other officers, directors, shareholders of the parent company, Elevated Inc., or the applicant company, Chiba Hut Investment Company, Inc., other than yourself and Mr. Timmons?
No.
And is it your testimony that Mr. Timmons is an 87% beneficial interest shareholder in the applicant company, and then you hold the remaining 12.5% shareholder interests?
That is correct.
You are authorized to represent the company's interests today at this public hearing?
Yes.
Is the applicant company, Chiba Hut Investment Company, Inc., a Colorado corporation in good standing with the Colorado Secretary of State's office?
It is.
And does it operate under the trade name Chiba Hut?
Yes.
Mr. Archer, do you and Mr. Timmons have experience operating liquor licensed restaurants in the state of Colorado?
We do. We have 16 other Chiba Hut locations in the state of Colorado with a liquor license.
And off the top of your head, will you tell the hearing officer what cities those locations operate in with liquor licenses?
We're in Fort Collins, Greeley, Johnstown, Longmont, Denver, Aurora, Colorado Springs,
And how long,
and Dillon.
I'm sorry, how long have you and Mr. Timmons been operating Chiba Huts within the state of Colorado?
David first started operating Chiba Huts in 2012 in Colorado.
Have any of your, is it 15 restaurants?
16.
16. Have any of your 16 restaurants ever been cited for selling alcohol to a minor or selling to an intoxicated patron?
No.
Is the proposed restaurant location here in the city of Englewood open yet?
No. Opening date will be sometime around August.
And what is the address at which you intend to do business here in the city of Englewood?
5098 South Federal, Suite C in Englewood.
Does the company have a lease for legal possession of the premises?
We do. We have a 10-year term.
And you understand that a hotel restaurant liquor license only authorizes the sale of malt, vinous, and spirituous liquors for consumption on the premises.
We do.
What type of food is, well, explain to the hearing officer the theme and menu of Chiba Hut.
Chiba Hut is a toasted sub concept, and we also have a full bar as well too.
What will be the hours of operation in which the location will be open to the public?
10 a.m. to midnight.
Will you have meals available for purchase during all hours of operation?
We will.
Do you have a full kitchen?
Yes.
Approximately how many employees do you intend to employ on site during normal business operating hours?
At any given time, there'll be about 10 employees.
Ms. Guckenberger, do you have a copy of the proposed premises diagram?
I believe I do here. I'll just have to locate it in my packet. Are you talking about the actual graphic of the premises, this one?
Yes.
Yes, I do have it, holding it.
Thank you. If we could look at the proposed floor plan, Mr. Archer, I will tell you that this premises diagram was submitted. The hearing officer has a copy of it with the license application. Does the diagram accurately depict the floor plan of the company's intended operating premises?
It does.
And will you direct us to north, south, east, and west on the diagram?
North is at the top of the page, and you can see the front door on the north side.
What are the closest streets with respect to the location?
Bellevue is on the south side of the premises, and Federal is on the west side.
And how would you describe the neighborhood to the hearing officer? Is it commercial, residential?
Yeah, heavy retail area. This corner is anchored by King Soopers Shopping Center with several restaurants and retail locations. Also nearby is a Home Depot to anchor the retail area.
It seems self-apparent from the floor plan, but if you wouldn't mind just walking the hearing officer into the restaurant and describing the various locations therein, including the patio.
As I mentioned before, on the north side is the primary front door. If you enter and go towards the west, that is where food will be ordered along a food line. As you continue south through there, there is the beverage counter for normal fountain drinks. On the east side is the bar, and on the northeast side is the patio with its own separate egress.
And is the patio perimeter enclosed?
It's fully fenced in.
Can you explain then how, if it's fully fenced in, how it has separate egress?
Yeah, I'll explain that. So it's a 4-foot fence, typical black wrought iron fence. There are exits, but there is a door connecting the patio to the restaurant, fully enclosed.
So there's no gate or door out of the patio fencing itself? It's just access to the restaurant to
There
and from?
are two as required by code.
Okay,
And you can see there, if you look at the connection point between the indoor and the patio, you can see two gates on both sides of those
Yes.
as we're required to
okay,
have.
okay. And I have one more question. Can anybody just walk in and out of those gates, or are they locked?
Anybody can walk in and out as required by code.
Okay,
On the north side of the building and the east side of the building is primarily all glass storefront, so it provides the bartender with maximum visibility of that patio as well too, so that everything is visible.
And those gates aren't intended for egress or ingress, are they? They're just for purposes of compliance with the fire code on the patio.
Correct.
And we can put signs on the gates indicating that no alcohol is allowed beyond this point.
There will be, yes.
What about the liquor storage areas? I'm sorry if you testified to those. Are they on the diagram?
There's liquor storage behind the bar as well as a closet on the southeast corner. Both of those are locked in cabinet. And then there's also keg storage within the walk-in cooler that resides in the kitchen.
And it appears from the diagram that there's parking to the north and to the east of the premises. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Now, I understand that you're overseeing constructions for the location currently,
Correct.
and you have registered yourself to be the proposed manager, at least initially, for a short period of time or a period of time until the restaurant is established.
Correct.
And then do you intend to register a separate manager other than yourself at some point thereafter?
That is correct.
Have you ever had a liquor violation, either personally or while employed at Chiba Hut?
No.
Can you talk to the hearing officer a little bit about the training policies that Chiba Hut utilizes with regards to the sale of alcohol?
Yeah, we use liquor professionals for a training program. All of our bartenders are tip certified. And then we also have our internal training policies as well too, and bar management staff.
And when you say liquor professionals, you're talking about liquor licensing professionals, the
Correct.
company that conducted the neighborhood survey?
Correct.
And you will conduct that training before opening day?
Correct.
What policies does the company employ with regards to checking appropriate identification for the service of alcohol?
We ID all customers regardless of age.
Can a patron order more than one drink at a time at the location?
They cannot. We require that anybody that is trying to order from multiple people, those other individuals will need to be identified properly as well.
Do you sell pitchers of beer?
We do not.
Do you allow alcohol to leave the premises?
No.
Do you deliver alcohol?
No.
What is your policy with regards to vertical IDs, those IDs issued to persons in the state of Colorado that are under the age of 21?
We do not accept any vertical IDs.
Based on your experience with the other 16 Chiba Huts in the state of Colorado, what do you anticipate the ratio will be at this location with respect to food versus alcohol?
Most of our locations are between 5 to 10% alcohol sales.
Does the company, in addition to sending employees and bartenders to the certified training program offered by liquor licensing professionals, does it also have internal employee codes and policies, handbooks is the word I'm looking for?
Yes, we do have a bartender training manual, and we have a bar operations manager that conducts those trainings and regularly conducts assessments to make sure that those policies are enforced.
And if an employee should violate your policies and serve someone underage, do you inform your employees that not only is it against company policy to serve someone under the age of 21, but that person can also be, and generally is, personally cited with a criminal violation or citation?
That is correct.
Do you refuse service to anyone that appears to be exhibiting any signs of intoxication?
Yes.
And do you believe that you're adequately familiar with the Colorado Liquor Code as it pertains to the hotel restaurant license type?
Yes.
Do you understand that the city of Englewood has its own rules and regulations with regards to the sale of alcohol, and that your license will be subject to those rules as well as the state of Colorado?
Yes.
Do you understand that liquor licenses have to be renewed annually, and that the renewal application generally must be turned in this case to Ms. McKinnon, within 45 days of expiration?
Yes.
What is the brand of the point of sale system that you'll be installing at this location?
We use Rebel.
And is that the system that you use for your other locations as well?
It is.
Does your point of sale system track the purchase and sale of alcoholic beverages?
It does.
And does the registered manager, at least in this case for the time period that you'll be opening the store, conduct all purchases of alcohol for the location?
That is correct.
Do you only purchase alcohol from wholesale licensed distributors?
Yes.
No liquor store purchases?
No.
Do you understand that you must maintain copies of the operating location's business records on site, including invoices for the and sales of alcohol, books and records, and that those records must be available for inspection by law enforcement if requested?
Yes.
Does Chiba Hut conduct any live music or dancing on site?
We do not.
Do you believe that you will operate this restaurant in a manner that will not adversely impact the health, safety, and welfare of the surrounding neighborhood?
Yeah, we believe Chiba Hut's a positive place for the community.
We indicated on your application, Mr. Archer, and you signed the application as well, that the estimated total investment for this location was $450,000. Do you recall that?
Correct.
And the $450,000 is paid for through current company operations of Chiba Hut Investment Company, Inc.
Correct.
You and Mr. Timmons didn't take any third-party financing to for capital purposes for this applicant?
That is correct.
Okay, and then the company engaged liquor licensing professionals to conduct a neighborhood survey with regards to the needs and desires of businesses and residents contained within the neighborhood that was identified by Ms. McKinnon?
Correct.
Did you ensure that the public notice poster that was provided by the city of Englewood was posted on site?
Correct. It was posted on March 21st, and we verified it is still there this morning.
Thank you. And you also took pictures on the day of posting as well?
Correct.
And you submitted the affidavit of posting and the pictures to the city of Englewood?
Correct.
Ms. Guckenberger, do you have questions for Mr. Archer?
I do. Thank you, Mr. Linden. So I appreciate you answering questions about the fence and the door around the patio. You said it's a 4-foot-high iron fence with the two gates required by code.
Correct.
And you'll post signs saying no alcohol permitted beyond this point. How will people on the patio be served? Will there be service out there, or will they have to come into the bar to
They will
obtain
have
alcohol?
both options. Generally, our bartenders will be present on the patio, as well as management will be too, so they are able to order additional drinks at that time as well.
And that's where identification will take place, at that point of order out at the table?
Correct.
Okay. On your application, you noted that the company received a violation on April 20th, 2018 at your Colfax location regarding customers smoking marijuana on the deck. And that's considered under state regulations a very severe violation of the liquor code. So to your point, to the question about the health, safety, and welfare of the community, I'd like to know a little bit more about what kind of steps you'll take to manage / avoid those kinds of circumstances happening out on the patio in the future, were I to grant you this license.
So that particular event was during the city of Denver's celebration of April 20th, in which nearby Denver hosted a large gathering. So there's a very large crowd, and due to the theme of our restaurant, it's a very busy day for us as well too. And the opportunity was missed in order to be able to catch someone that was smoking on the patio outside, and so we were cited for that at that time. Since then, we've learned having large gatherings is something that we need to pay special attention to and provide extra staffing for. So generally, on a day-to-day basis, that's something that a bartender and the manager that's working the restaurant floor is able to manage and see everybody, and we'll provide extra staffing should there ever be any large events. We don't anticipate that at this location.
All right. Thank you. I have no further questions for this witness.
Thank you. If you do have additional questions about that incident, Mr. Timmons was personally cited for that violation. He's present if you have questions.
I don't. My main concern is to ensure that, steps are taken to prevent it in the future. I do think patios and alcohol and marijuana are often a challenge for restaurants to manage, and I just want to be sure you guys are aware of that and are taking steps to manage that risk. So no further questions on that topic at this point.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll call Ms. Johnson of Liquor Licensing Professionals, Carol Johnson, to testify to the Neighborhood Needs and Desires Survey.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Carol Johnson for Liquor Licensing Professionals doing business as Liquor Pros. First, I'll say we are a neutral petitioning company, and we do not guarantee results. We try to start at the location and radiate out to all four quadrants if they are available. This was not the case with the boundaries set with this map.
Excuse me just 1 minute. Ms. McKinnon, can you hear everything you need to, or? Yeah, if you could speak up, please, so that we can hear.
Okay, fine. Thank you. Appreciate it. The businesses were done on Monday, April 1st, and the residents were done on Tuesday, Wednesday, April 2nd and 3rd. We made 57 attempts at businesses and 306 at residents for a total of 363 attempts. And from that, we obtained the 116 signatures. From that, there was a breakdown of 31 signatures for the businesses, 30 in support and 1 in opposition, and 85 residents signed totally, 80 in support and 5 in opposition. And as was previously stated, 5 of those that signed gave no reason, and 1 was opposed to the entire restaurant. There are 31 who declined to participate, 18 not interested, 6 too busy, 5 do not sign petitions or surveys, and 2 no opinion. And there were 13 who were not qualified to sign. 9 of those were businesses that did not have an owner or manager available at that time, and 4 were non-residents. So in the final summation, with the reason for the 1 being able to be considered as an invalid or irrelevant to the needs and desires due to state statutes, you can choose to have the final totals be 110 in support for 96% and 5 in opposition for 4% for the total of 115. And I would answer any questions you might have.
I don't have any questions. Mr. Lennon, do you have any questions, or?
Just briefly for the record, Ms. Johnson, how long have you been in the industry of conducting neighborhood surveys for liquor license applicants?
Getting close to 20 years.
And have you testified previously before this licensing authority, the City of Englewood?
Yes, I have.
And approximately how many surveys have you participated in?
I've lost track, quite frankly, but probably over 1,000 easily.
And do you think that this survey was conducted, you used to own your own survey company, is that right?
No, I was managing of a different survey company until the owner passed away, and then we merged our people with Liquor Pros.
Okay. And do you believe that this survey was conducted within the policies and procedures and normal course of business that Liquor Licensing Professionals conducts all of its liquor license surveys?
Yes, everyone is reminded to stay neutral in all cases and simply have the paperwork that's necessary and state the facts and answer any questions that are available to be answered.
I have no other questions. Ms. Guckenberger, I would ask that you, as the hearing officer, take administrative notice of the survey submitted to the City of Englewood, as testified to by Ms. Johnson.
So admitted and so noted. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Is there anyone else here who would like to speak either in favor of this application or in opposition? Seeing none. All right. If you have nothing further, then I'll close the public hearing and render my decision.
We have nothing further. Thank you.
All right, thank you. So the applicant and all parties in interest, of which none were present, have testified on this application, and I declare the public hearing closed and will now render the decision. I approve applicant's application based on the following findings of fact and conclusions. That the notice of hearing was posted as required by law and published as well. That they're, based on the petitions and the testimony of the petitioner provided, there's a need and desire for an additional outlet based on the reasonable requirements of the neighborhood and the desires of its adult inhabitants, and the number, type, and availability of existing outlets. I also find that the existing liquor licenses of the same class are inadequate to serve the thirst needs of that neighborhood on that same basis. And I further find that applicant and Kyle Archer, the registered manager pursuant to the application, are of good moral character and not otherwise prohibited as a liquor licensee under Colorado law. I find that the applicant is in legal possession of the premises per the lease provided to this authority, and that the business is properly located under zoning and distance requirements, and a license has not been denied for the same premises or one within 500 feet for the past 2 years for the reasons under state statute. And I further find that based on a review of the premises conducted today and of the application, that those premises are suitable and in particular sufficient for a hotel and restaurant license. Therefore, I congratulate you on this. I understand that with the building will not be ready until August, so inspections and all that will ensue before license is actually issued. So on that basis, yep, we will issue you a written decision within the 30 days as required by law. It's usually a little sooner than that, but that's our plan. Thank you so much for your time, and best of luck to you.
Thank you very much. And I just put on the record, Ms. McKinnon, thank you for being so diligent and prompt with my inquiries. I've never done a liquor license application in Englewood, so it's always nice when the local authority is as professional as you've been. Thank you. Thank you.